Hi students. So up to this class we discussed about the single level clipper. So what is meant by diode clipper and what are the types of the diode clippers we have to discuss. So in that particular we discussed about the single level clipper. So what is meant by single level clipper? So we can say that it can clip either positive part of the input signal or negative part of the input signal. So in the single level clipper, so we discussed about shunt and series clippers. So in this session we discussed about the two level clipper. So it is also a diode clipper. So but it is a two level clipper. So what is meant by two level clipper and so what is the use of two level clipper? So we have to discuss. So two level clipper. So it cuts both positive as well as negative part. So what is the purpose of the clipper? Simply we can say that the clipper is used for cutting the input signal. So with a reference level. So by using two level clipper we have to clip both positive as well as negative part of the input signal. So based upon the reference level. So it is also known as slicer. So the another name of the two level clipper is known as slicer. So why? Because this is known as slicer, it slices the input signal. So based upon the reference level. So these reference levels will be VR1 and VR2. So the input signal in between VR1 and VR2 will be present at the output side. So nothing but we have to select that particular voltage based upon this two level clipper. So just check the two level clipper. So a two level clipper is designed using parallel connection, nothing but series parallel connection as well as parallel series connection. First we have to discuss it. One type of two level clipper. Here we use the diodes. So here we use the two diodes, that is VR1 and VR2, sorry, D1 and D2, and here we use the two reference voltages and VR1, VR2. Here I am telling about the two conditions. This is the case 1. So what happens when this type of clipper perform? Nothing but when this type of reference signal is given to the diodes, then what happens? What is the output condition? We have to check. And then we have to say that here the two level clipper, we have to know that here the input is given to the, so here this is sinusoidal input signal. So this sinusoidal input signal is given to the diode D1 and as well as diode D2. So in this example we have to take it as VR2 is greater than the VR1 condition. So from this is the case 1, from this case we have to tell that here VR2 is greater than the VR1. The reference voltage VR2 is greater than the VR1 condition. So from this we have to know what is an output condition, we have to check. So with an example I have to tell that what is the VR2 condition. I am assuming that the VR2 will be 3 volts. And VR1 will be less than VR2, that's why VR1 is taken as 2 volts. So both are positive voltage. So it's your choice, you have to take the negative voltage, but you have to shift the connection. Nothing but in the negative direction we have to place the reference level. So here I am applying a positive voltage, that is VR1 and VR2. So here the VR1 must be 3 volts and VR2 must be 3 volts and VR1 must be 2 volts. So for example, at the same time the sinusoidal input signal which is taken as Vm is equal to 5 volts. So this type of signal, nothing but 5 volts peak to peak signal, I am applying for this circuit, and this circuit the input is given to the diode D1 cathode terminal as well as diode D2 anode terminal. So what happens? We have to check the conditions and what is an output conditions we have to check. So in which condition it produces this type of output we have to see. So that is case 1. Here we take, that is in this condition we take this diode will be a ideal diode. Nothing but V gamma will be 0. So that's why we don't concentrate on this V gamma condition. So this is not a practical diode. We have to consider a ideal diode. So that's why we don't consider V gamma at the output side. So only we consider the output voltage, that is VR1, VR2 will be considered at the output side, not a V gamma condition. So here the V gamma will be 0. Why? Because we have to take the ideal condition only. And then we go for the first condition, that is the input signal is Vi less than VR1. So the input voltage is less than VR1. Obviously the sinusoidal signal is given to this circuit. So what is the sinusoidal signal? It starts with 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and so on up to 5 volts, and again it decreases. So when the input signal is less than VR1, so nothing but, so this is the sinusoidal signal and VR1 is 2 volts and VR2 will be 3 volts. So the input signal is less than this condition. What happens? Nothing but the input signal may be 1 volt or 0 volt or minus 1 volt or minus 2 volts and so on up to minus 5 volts. What happens? We have to check. So that is the input signal is less than minus VR1. So this is VR1. So we have assumed that VR1 will be 2 volts. So up to this is 1 volt or 0 volts or something, any less than condition. So we have to assume that the VR1 will be 0 volts. So then the input signal will be 0 volts. So what happens? So when input signal is given to this circuit, so here the input signal is applied to the cathode of the diode. First the input signal is applied to the cathode of the diode, that is D1, and another terminal, nothing but it also applied to the anode of diode D2. So the input signal whatever we have to apply here, so the signal will be applied to the diode D1 cathode terminal as well as diode D2 anode terminal. So simply we can say that what is the condition of diode on? So that is anode voltage must be greater than the cathode voltage. So that is case 1 when Vi less than VR1. So for example, we have to take that VR1 may be less than these 2 volts. We have to assume that it is 0 volts. So then what happens and what is the condition of the diode we have to observe. So this voltage nothing but this VR1 volt, this input voltage, we assume it as 0 volts. So this 0 volts is applied to this diode D1 cathode terminal and diode D2 anode terminal. So as we know that what is the condition of diode on, so that is Va greater than Vk. So the anode voltage must be greater than the cathode voltage. So in this condition only the diode is on condition. So from this we have to say that what is the VR1 condition, that is VR1 will be 2 volts and what is the cathode, that is 0 volts. So here the anode voltage is greater than this cathode voltage. So then diode D1 becomes on. So that is diode D1 becomes on, and what is the condition of D2? So here the 0 volts is applied to the anode of diode D2 and cathode terminal is connected to the VR2. So what is the condition of VR2 here? VR2 will be 3 volts. So nothing but here the cathode voltage is greater than the anode voltage. At D2 terminal the cathode voltage is greater than the anode voltage. So that's why the D2 will be off condition. So then the circuit diagram will be like this. So in this condition diode D1 becomes on condition and diode D2 becomes off condition. So simply the voltage at this output condition V0 will be VR1. Why? Because so here the diode D1 becomes short circuited. So when any one of the diode will be short circuited, so the voltage across this short circuited path will be generally so 0. But here for ideal condition itself, that's why it will be 0. But here there is a reference voltage, that is VR1 present in parallel with the output. So that's why the output V0 will be VR1. So from this we take that is V0 is equal to VR1 at first condition, that is Vi less than VR1 condition. So then we go for the second condition, that is so at which condition both diodes will be off condition we have to say. So this is an input signal, nothing but this is the diagram. First the diode cathode and so this is V0. What is the condition we have to check. So this is diode D1 and this is diode D2, and this one is VR1 and VR2. So at the second condition we have to say that the VI voltage, so that is case 2 in the first step, VR1 less than VI less than VR2. So nothing but the input voltage VI is in between these VR1 and VR2. So what happens, we have to check. So we have to say that the VR1 voltage will be 2 volts and VR2 voltage will be 3 volts. So nothing but my input voltage will be in between these two. For example, you have to assume that VA is equal to 2.5 volts. Nothing but in between these two. That's why we have to take it as 2.5 volts. So obviously the VR1 voltage is 2 volts and VR2 voltage will be 3 volts. And at this time we have to apply this V input to this resistor. At the same time this V input is applied to the diode D1 cathode terminal and diode D2 anode terminal. So what happens? So here it produces, that is this 2.5 volts is applied to the cathode of diode D1 and anode of diode D2. So then we have to check here. What is the condition? When diode on condition, that is VA greater than VK. It satisfies the principle. It does not satisfy the principle. Why? Because here the anode voltage is less than the cathode voltage. So that's why diode D1 becomes off condition. At the same way, so diode D2. What is the condition of diode here at the anode terminal? So we apply 2.5 volts, but cathode terminal, so we can apply 3 volts. So from this example we have to say that here the cathode voltage is greater than the anode voltage. So that's why in this particular condition diode D2 is also off condition. So that's why, so it can be replaced with the open circuit. So in this condition, when both diodes are in open circuit only, so then the signal, nothing but the input signal is reached at the output side. So then we have to say that, so that without any cutting or without any clipping, the input signal will be reached at the output side. So when the input signal, that is a VI, is in between VR1 and VR2. So this particular signal will be produced at the output side. So from this we have to say that that is V0 is equal to V input. So in this particular condition only we get the input signal at the output side. So and the last condition, that is VI greater than VR2. So that is what happens, we have to check. So as we know that we have to assume that as VR2 becomes 3 volts, so V input will be greater than this voltage. What happens? So that is maybe 4 volts. We have to take it as 4 volts. So when 4 volts is applied to this circuit, then so this 4 volts is applied to the cathode of the diode, at the same time anode of this diode. So obviously here the anode voltage is less than the cathode voltage. So that's why diode D1 becomes off condition. Here this 4 volts is applied to the anode of this diode D2. So here the anode voltage is greater than the cathode voltage. Why? Because 4 volts is greater than 3 volts. That's why diode D2 will be on condition. So simply we have to say that, so the input signal VI greater than VR2. So then diode D2 becomes on condition and D1 becomes off condition. So from this circuit we have to say that the output voltage V0 is equal to VR2. Why? Because diode D2 will be short circuited. So across this short circuited path will be generally 0. But here we have to apply a parallel reference voltage. So then V0 is equal to VR2. So this is the condition of the diode. And we have to formulate the transfer characteristics. So what is the formulation of transfer characteristics? We have to observe. So that is step 2, that is formulation of transfer characteristics. So we have to take the 3 conditions, that is VI less than VR1, and next condition will be VR1 less than VI less than VR2, and the next condition will be VI greater than VR2. So what happens, we have to check. So when the input voltage VI less than VR1, then output voltage V0 becomes VR1. And in this condition the output voltage, that is VI, is in between VR1 and VR2. So then V0 becomes V input. And this condition, that is VI greater than VR2, the output voltage V0 is equal to VR2. So then we have to say that, so what is the slope condition here? So when the input signal is reached at the output side, in this time only the slope will be 1 and the remaining time the slope will be 0. So from this we have to say that here the slope will be 0, here the slope will be 1 and here the slope will be 0. So why? Because in this particular condition only we get the input signal at the output side. So in the remaining condition the output will be VR1 or VR2. So this is the formulation of the transfer characteristics. So that is a step 2, and finally we have to draw the transfer characteristics. Just we have to observe the transfer characteristics. We have to draw the two level clipper transfer characteristics. So this is very important question. So just check this condition. So VR1 and VR2 both are positive signals. So then first of all I have to draw the sinusoidal signal, and in this sinusoidal signal I have to represent the VR1 and VR2 condition. So obviously the VR1 will be 2 volts and VR2 will be 3 volts. We have to assume like that. So that is 2 volts and 3 volts. VR1 and VR2. From this we have to say that the output side nothing but in the x-axis and y-axis side also we have to represent. So in the x-axis we represent the input, in the y-axis we represent the output. So the output voltage will be VR1 and VR2. So these are the output voltages. And in between these we produce the V input. So what is the condition? So at the first condition the input Vi is less than VR1. So less than nothing but this signal only. So in this direction, so less than 2 volts nothing but 0 volts or -1, -2 up to the maximum input signal. So when the V input is less than VR1, so then what happens? The output signal V0 is equal to VR1 and it can be represented with the slope 0. So up to this condition, so we have to extend this condition also. So up to this condition the output will be VR1 and it can be represented with the slope 0. And the next condition, that is V input is in between VR1 and VR2. So the input voltage is in between these two. What happens? The output voltage V0 is equal to V input. So in this time we have to represent with the slope 1. So that is so in this condition we have to represent with the slope 1. And next condition is the input voltage is greater than VR2. So greater nothing but these voltages. So in this time the output voltage will be VR2. So what is the VR2 level? This one is the VR2 level. So and above this signal the output will be VR2. So this is the condition. From this we have to say that the output will be like this. So this is a sinusoidal signal. We have to draw input signal and the output will be this condition only. Nothing but in between VR1 and VR2 we produce the output signal. Simply. So this is an output signal. At the slope 1 only we have produced the output signal. So like this, the output will be like this. This is the two level clipper at two different voltage levels. That is, we have to take that is VR2 is greater than VR1. So in this we apply two different voltage levels. So one is greater than another one. What is the condition? We have to check that. So in this condition we have to obtain that is the output waveform will be so the output waveform will be cutting nothing but the negative part of the output will be cut, output will be whole removed. And a positive part we produce that is the voltage will be in between these two. So at the final stage we observe these output only. In between VR1 and VR2 we produce the output signal and the remaining signal will be clipped. And in the next condition we have to check the next one, that is what is the condition when both reference voltages are same. So in this condition we have to check that is both reference voltages are different, but we have to check the condition both the reference voltages are same but opposite side. So one voltage is at one reference voltage is at plus level and another reference will be at minus level. What happens? We have to check. So this is a signal and from this we have to formulate the transfer characteristics and what is the condition of this circuit we have to examine. So simply we have to say that so this is also a two level clipper. So here, so the input voltage VR1 and VR2 both are same. So but at VR1 level, that is VR1 is a positive and VR2 will be negative. Why? Because here we apply a negative reference signal to the anode of the diode. Here a positive reference signal is applied to the cathode of the diode. So that is the only difference between these two, but the voltage levels are same here. That is, so from this we have to say that VR1 is equal to minus VR2. So why? Because here I am applying a negative reference signal, and at the same time the input voltage is applied to the D1 anode terminal as well as diode D2 cathode terminal. And what is the output? We have to examine. So simply we have to say that is the step 1. What is the diode operation? So from this we have to say that so first condition we have to take it as Vi less than minus VR1. So what is the condition? Sorry, Vi less than VR1 or Vi less than VR2. First I have to take that one, that is Vi less than VR2. So what happens? We have to check. So VR2 nothing but we have to apply a negative signal. So that is minus VR2. So then what happens? We have to check. So the input signal Vi less than is minus VR1. So minus signal nothing but, for example, my VR1 will be 2 volts and the input VR2 will be also minus 2 volts. My input signal is less than this signal. So simply we have to say that the input signal may be 1 volt. Sorry. Minus 3 volts and it will be minus 2 volts. So simply we have to say that minus 3 volt signal is less than minus 2 volts. So then what happens? We have to check. So simply with an example I have to tell that. So with a negative signal, that is Vi signal is less than minus VR1 level, what happens? We have to check. So simply the negative signal nothing but minus 3 volts we have to apply. So this minus 3 volts is applied to the anode of the diode D1, at the same time cathode of diode D2. So then what happens and what is the output condition? We have to check. So at this condition we have to say that this minus 3 volts is applied to this, and we assume that as VR2 will be 2 volts and VR1 will be 2 volts and VR2 will be minus 2 volts. So from this we have to say that here we obtain that. So the cathode voltage is greater than the anode voltage. So why? Because here that is minus 3 volts, the anode voltage is less than this cathode voltage for diode D1. At diode D1, that is VA is less than VK. Obviously what happens? Diode D1 becomes off condition. So from this step we observe that when the input signal will be less than minus VR2, what happens? Diode D1 will be off condition. At the same time, what is the condition of diode D2? So here we apply minus 3 volts, that is here the cathode voltage is less than the anode voltage. So then what happens? Diode D2 becomes on condition. So when the input signal will be less than minus VR2, obviously diode D1 becomes off condition and diode D2 becomes on condition. And what is the circuit diagram? So the circuit diagram will be like this. And diode D1 becomes, what is the condition of diode D1? Diode D1 becomes off condition, so which is replaced with the open circuit, and diode D2 becomes on condition, which is replaced with the short circuit, and the output voltage, so that is V0 is equal to, so what is the reference voltage here? That is minus VR2. So then we get the minus VR2 voltage at the output side. So then we have to check the next condition. So that is at this condition we produce the output, that is V0 is equal to minus VR2. And the next condition will be, so that is the input voltage will be minus VR2 less than Vi less than VR1. Nothing but the input voltage is in between these two. What happens? So simply we have to say that is minus 2 volts and 2 volts. In between these two we have to assume it as 0 volts. So then what happens? We have to check the condition. So when 0 volt signal is applied to this circuit, so then what happens? Here the 0 volts is applied to the anode of diode D1 as well as cathode of diode D2. From this we have to know the condition of diode D1. So at cathode terminal of diode D1, the reference voltage VR1 is applied. So we assume it as 2 volts. So anode terminal is connected to 0 volts. From this we have to say that the anode voltage is less than the cathode voltage. Then what happens? Diode D1 becomes off condition. Why? Because here the anode voltage will be 0 volts and cathode voltage is 2 volts. So from this we have to know that the cathode voltage is greater than the anode voltage. So that's why diode D1 becomes off condition. At the same time, what is the condition of diode D2? So here the 0 volts is applied to the cathode and anode will be minus 2 volts. So here also 0 volts is more than minus 2 volts. So that's why cathode voltage is greater than the anode voltage. So then we have to say that diode D2 is also in off condition. So from this we have to say that the output waveform will, output diagram will be like this. So at this particular condition the output is R and both are open circuit. Why? Because diode D1 is off and diode D2 is also off condition. Here we apply a positive reference, here we apply a negative reference. And this is output V0 and V input. So in this particular time, what is the output signal? So the output signal will be reached at the input signal will be reached at the output side without any clipping. Why? Because both diodes will be open circuited, so there is no path for the ground for input signal to be grounded. That's why the V0 will be V input. So this is the step 2. And the next step will be what is the condition here, that is what is the condition we have to assume, that is the third step, that is Vi greater than VR1. That is the input voltage is greater than VR1. What happens? We have to check. So simply the VR1 will be 2 volts and it will be the input voltage is greater than 2 volts. Maybe it is 2.1, 2.2 up to the input voltage maximum. So let us assume it has 3 volts. So when 3 volts is applied to this anode of diode D1 as well as cathode of diode D2. So then what happens? 3 and 2 volts. Obviously the anode will be greater than cathode of diode D1. Then diode D1 becomes on condition. And here we apply 3 volts, that is cathode will be greater than the anode. Then what happens? Diode D2 becomes off condition. So then the circuit will be like this. So diode D1 becomes on condition, it can be replaced with a short circuit and the output voltage will be VR1 and here that is resistor V input and it can be replaced with the open circuit and the total output V0 is equal to VR1. From this we have to draw the formulation of the transfer characteristics. So how we have to draw the formulation of the transfer characteristics? We have to check. So that is at first condition we know that we assume it as 3 conditions, that is Vi less than minus VR2 and the second condition will be minus VR2 less than Vi less than VR1 and the third condition will be Vi greater than VR1. What is the conditions we have to observe? So the input signal Vi less than minus VR2. Obviously the output will be V0 is equal to minus VR2. So which is indicated with slope 0. Why? Because we have to represent with the slope 0. Simply we have to say that we don't produce an input signal at the output side. So that's why we have to represent with the slope 0. And next condition, that is the input signal will be in between these minus VR2 and minus VR1. So then V0 becomes V input. So in this time the slope will be 1. At the same time that Vi input is greater than VR1. So what happens? So simply we have to say that is V0 is equal to VR1 which is indicated with the slope 0. So from this we have to draw the transfer characteristics. How we have to draw the transfer characteristics? We have to observe. So that is, so this line indicates the input signal, that is sinusoidal signal. So that is V input and this is also V input. and the above this line indicates the transfer characteristics. So that is V naught and this one will be V input. Here we have to take the two conditions. What are the conditions? That is minus VR2 and plus VR. So that is minus VR2 nothing but in the negative direction. That is minus VR2